Hey folks, apologize, a couple things. My laptop got destroyed, so I'm using my old one, and this microphone just is not working very well this morning. Sorry about that. Hey, we were able to get everybody, no, I ain't ready. We were able to get some folks together to play last night. So we were short one player, the half-orc paladin. We had two guest players, some other of my son's friends who wanted to play, so we brought them in. As we left off last time, they were in the Necromancer's cave, searching in his private chambers. I had planned out for the Necromancer, after he misty stepped to the people, to go ahead and use 3 of his third level spells to raise dead on 3 of his old zombies and bring them back around. I wasn't sure about timing. I looked up, it takes a minute each for those. So I was trying to figure out, okay, if they search around the room for a while and they start coming back, where would they meet up? At first, I didn't realize how long it took. Well, I mean, a minute's not really that long to cast a spell outside of combat. So I figured that the Necromancer and his zombies would, meet them at the entry point of the Necromancer's private chamber. So they decided to do a short rest, which is good. Gives the Necromancer plenty of time to get around and get set up from walking in. So, no, actually they decided to go for a long rest. That's right, because the 2 half-orcs, the paladin and the barbarian, bundle up to get some sleep, while the half-elf warlock is standing guard. So, make a couple rolls. Zombies aren't very stealthy, so they come walking up. The warlock sees them. The necromancer calls out his thing about, how dare you come into the necromancer, the Lord of Lance Rock's cave, death awaits you, kind of thing, and initiative rolls. So the necromancer and the zombie actually rolled pretty low. The characters are usually pretty high with their initiative, because they got some pretty decent dexterities. So the barbarian, jumps up, makes half his move, but he's within range to engage one of the zombies. They fight some. The zombies move up. The paladin gets up. He moves. Zombies engage him. The warlock disengages and moves back out of the way so she can shoot some spells. And the necromancer fires off his last spell slot, first level spell. He throws magic missile, and one at each of them, kind of thing. But he threw it. No, that's right. So they all get hit with that. The zombies fight some more. The paladin goes down. The barbarian kills one of the zombies. Then the necromancer starts throwing chilling touch at the barbarian. Crush, crush. There's a couple of them on. He goes down. The zombies move up to engage the warlock. Necromancer moves into the cave just to spy on her and throw some more spells. She throws and casts Eldritch Blast at the necromancer. Necromancer, crazy guy. He was down pretty low. He was like 5 hit points left. She rolls 6. So he disappears in a puff of smoke and scream echoes throughout the cave. She disengages from the zombies attack her. She disengages from the zombies, runs around, trying to get back again. I came to my first dilemma. Okay, these zombies were recently raised, and the necromancer can control them, as a bonus action, all of them. So that's what he's been doing. So what happens when he's dead? If these would have been zombies or skeletons that he's had set up already, I'd then keep going after the girl because that was their command. But I kind of saw this as active command since he has to do the bonus action and stuff. So my call, they just stop. So she Eldritch Blast him to death, or to destruction. Between healing rolls and medicine. The other two are stabilized, and they continue with the long rest. Next morning, she gets up. They wake up from their death after so many hours anyway. So they all get search again. They find some money. They find provisions and bedding and clothing, standard stuff is not that important. They have the globe still, and they find a wand. It's a wand of magic missiles. I'm really debating about this whole 5th edition identifying stuff. You take a short rest with the thing, you figure out how it works. I don't know. I think you still need to have that identified to find out how things actually work. So you can figure out some stuff from the thing. I mean, it's obviously the globe glows, it gives off light, that kind of stuff. So you know how that kind of works. And there's a wand. It's obviously a magic wand because it's not just a stick. It could be a focus though. So I threw that out to them. It could be a focus. So they keep it. They get back to town. The warlock goes back to the shrine, makes more donations to the priest, tell them a little bit about what happened. That does capture the attention of the storm priest. He's also a member of the Gauntlet. So he's looking at the party a little differently now, specifically the paladin. They go back to the inn. The innkeeper was told them, hey, there's something going on up at Lance Rock that may be behind all this stuff. They tell her all about it. They rest up a bit. That evening, they head over to the tavern to tell stories, because the barbarian's a storyteller, and the warlock uses minor illusion to help embellish the storyteller's pictures and stuff like that. While this whole thing is going on, the storm priest comes in to listen to their stories, see what for himself what's going on, kind of thing. Also, there is a human fighter and a wood elf ranger who had been part of a caravan guard and were stopping over, and they're trying to figure out what they do next, kind of thing. And they hear the stories of these adventurers doing this stuff. That sounds cool, so they introduce themselves. That goes fairly well. No real issues there. After that, one of the believers comes up to him and tells them she heard about some treasure in Tickle Rock Cave. There's always rumors about treasure being out there. So they take that for a hint. Now it turns out that she and one of the other believers, obviously they know that the adventurers found out about their stuff going on, and so they want to get rid of them. So both of them know about Tickle Rock Cave. It's actually there's no treasure, there's just scourges in this cave. So they send them out there, and then they send out an ambush party, 6 bandits, to ambush them after they come back out, if they come back out after the scourges. So they figured, here's a double whammy on the PCs. Maybe that'll take care of them, get them out of town, get rid of them. So the next morning, they head out to Tickle Rock Cave, which is down the road, about half a day, and then outside there's a stream there. Obviously, it's called Tickle Rock Cave. There's a stream coming through, so they follow it in. They see boot prints going in and out of the cave, so they go on into the cave. More of a crevice at the beginning, so they're going through the crevice, single file, all the way down through, and then it opens up this little cave. And roll initiative. They don't know what's going on. They walk to the cave, there's nothing there. Surges attack, but the surges actually rolled low, so I kind of threw them out there. I play them when they're first attacking, that they're in the air, so they're hard to hit. So I have them go at disadvantage while they're in the air. But after they attack, they're lashed on, and so they get advantage, and they don't have a lot of points anyway, so easy to kill. The warlock does burning hands, fries up 4 of them, so there's only like 2 or 3 left. Actually, 2 left. They lash out to a couple of the PCs, do some damage. The PCs, kill them, wipe them off. So they search, and they search, and they search. What's going on with this cave? I don't remember now if it was here or later on they realized that maybe set us up. That's been afterwards, because as they come walking out of the cave, they get barraged by crossbow bolts. Couple hit. That's not rolling well this last night. So the ranger starts firing arrows back. The barbarian charges. The warlock moves off the side, tries to throw some Eldritch Blast. The fighter, for some reason, doesn't want to engage in combat. He's got chain and shield. It's an armor class of 18. He doesn't have to worry about getting hit. But instead, he stands back and throws hand axes. And he's a duelist. So he's got +2 to his damage when he hits with his weapon. Whatever. So he goes a part way, throws an axe, goes a little closer, throws another axe. Barbarian engages one of the bandits. The bandits focus on the two that they know, which is the warlock and the barbarian. They're giving some descriptions on, hey, this is the party. These are the guys we want you to kill. So a couple of them engage on the barbarian. A couple more shoot crossbow bolts at him. He gets beat up, but he's raged, so he's only taking half damage. And I wasn't rolling very well, so 2 points here, 1 point there. They're doing scimitars on the hand-to-hand, and light crossbows at D8 from a couple of range shots. A couple of them shoot at the magic user, and she did. So she's firing Eldritch Blast back. They end up wiping that party out. Bandits are just not tough. If these believers are going to try and ambush these guys again, they've got to use thugs or something. But they wipe out these guys, and they start shooting around it, and there's like nothing there. They just got their weapons and armor. I think that's when they actually figured out, okay, we're being set up. We got to go back and get rid of this lady. But she's actually an upstanding member of the community. I'm not sure how that's going to go if they actually follow through on it. So they get back to town, they heal up, do what they can. Have some inter-party conflict. One of my players has personal issues with one of the other players. I didn't realize it was this bad. I mean, I knew he didn't really like him, but he's willing to play, and it seems to be at least diplomatic stuff going on. But it's because the other player apparently, I think, it's because the other player doesn't quite get the whole gist of role playing and doing D&D, and so does weird things on occasion, things you wouldn't think about, like he's a ranger and he should be shooting his longbow, but he's asking about these crossbow bolts. Can you use those? And maybe I should get a short bow instead. And I kind of going, hey, dude, look at the sheets. There's a reason you've got a longbow. You should back at a distance, and longbows do some more damage than short bows, that kind of thing. But side issue, something happened. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I was doing something else with one of the other players, and there was some kind of character conflict. One of the characters tries to do something. Another character, says, hell no, pulls out his sword and pommels him in the head. I should have stopped at that point, but sometimes some things happen, and so he says, I rolled damage, I'm doing whatever. Guy didn't have any hit points. He goes down. Guards jump up, ambush the half-orc barbarian. The tavern keeper throws him out. They take him down to the constable. Constable gives him a tongue lashing kind of thing. Because no one was really hurt. They don't really have a jail there. Wasn't much I could do on that, but I still feel I did weak on that one. And I need to watch this inter-party conflict stuff. That ruins it for everybody. But this may be actually a one-shot off for the two bonus players we had. They just haven't been able to play, and so they came in to fill in the spot. Things settle down. The warlock and the barbarian level up to 3. The barbarian's feeling, I'm missing something. I need some kind of spiritual guidance. I've got to find out, what I want to do. He wants to go Path of the Token. So they're talking with some folks, finding out, are there any barbarian tribes in the areas, or somebody you can go seek, barbarian spiritual guidance from. And the closest thing, there's these elk barbarians that are all over the place. They're easy to find. And there's these other barbarians that are over the kind are And then there's this third kind of called tree ghosts, and I need to read up on that, see if I can figure out what exactly that means. Tree ghosts. But I figure that's foresty enough for a bear. The guy wants to be totem of the bear. He's already got the bear cloak thing, so he's already trying to attune himself. Okay, so there's these hills, forest. The high forest, there we go. It's the high forest. It's off to the east, 2 or 3 days out. So they start heading that way. Head down the road, and between their town and the next town, which is actually at a ford on the river, there's what's called the Reaver ambush. Now, Reaver is one of the water cult fighter guys. So there's 2 of these fighter guys, 5 bandits, and a wave priest that have a little camp out next to the road. Don't know why they call it an ambush, because they don't actually ambush anybody on the road. The way the little blurb is written, if the players come in, if they made contact, there's kind of issue that if they made contact and they come in, it's just normal. But if they don't know that anybody's coming down the road into their camp, the wave people will instantly assume their enemies and attack. So that's what happens. The party, part of the party wants to go in and talk to these guys. The other part of the party wants to stealth and be careful. So they come around a bend on the hill, and the wave priest looks up and sees them and throws sleet storm. 2 of the guys get nailed with that one. Plus the warlock is going path of the chain, so he's got a little familiar. He was in the blast radius too. He made his save, so he gets out of there. One of them misses, so he's on the ground crawling. And then the barbarian makes his, so he just kind of gets out of the area. Crossbowmen move out and line up. Fighters move forward to engage. I was expecting the fighters to be a little tougher. All they've got is a shield. Their dex is giving them a +2, so they're down a class of 14, which isn't bad, but still, you'd think they'd have some kind of armor if they're fighters. They've just got these giant crab shell shields and these sharp-toothed longswords. What's up with that? Yeah, if you don't have any armor on, they do extra damage. So maybe they should have gone after the magic user now that I think about it. But they engage the barbarian. Actually, the barbarian may not have armor either. I didn't think about that. So double check that as well. They engage the barbarian. The crossbowmen are dividing the shots between the barbarian, the magic user, and the ranger. A couple of the bandits hit the warlock. Warlock does the reaction. That Hell Fury thing, but ends up killing him. Each round. So there's 3 of the bandits. The priest is firing out. He was doing a couple spells. Hit a couple of people, didn't do too much. The 2 warriors engage the barbarian. The fighter comes up to support the barbarian. They kill those 2 off in 2 rounds. The imp is invisible, flies up, attacks the priest. The sting, he misses his saving throw, so he takes a whole bunch of damage. So he fires magic missile at the imp, at level 5, or level 3 rather. So there's 5 missiles, kills the imp. The warlock does an Eldritch Blast, and that's enough to take the priest out. The bandits bolt. They get around running in, because they're already out of range. And then they get into the brush and stuff. So, yeah, their movement is half, but they're getting obscured. It's hard to find them, hard to see them. And so they just let those guys go. The warlock takes all the armor and the weapons and does a sacrifice to his fiend for that stuff. And they pretty much torch the whole place. Just burn it down. In the book, in the back, where they've got the not wandering monsters, but generic monsters, the ones you run into, the wave priest and the wave weavers, as they're called, the standard fighter guys and priests and stuff. They don't really say anything about treasure that they have. So I was kind of stuck with that. There should have been some money there, but so they didn't have anything to go off of on. How much money does a priest carry? How much money does a warrior carry? I just said go. They didn't have anything. They had lots of stuff, lots of food, water, supplies, that kind of thing. But they got beat up. The party got beat up pretty bad there. So they continue on down the road, and they get to the Break Right In. And one of the players said, "Break right in?" I did not realize the whole time I've been working with this module that, yeah, break right in and the break right in. Yeah, something kind of fun. So they go to the inn and they crash for the night. That's the end of the night for them. I'm going to have the two bonus PCs stay here. They didn't like this whole Weaver stuff. That was not fun. So they're going to, assuming the party stays the way it is, I'll just have the two continue on to the next town and then over into the woods. My intent is for him to find, the shaman of the tribe and, plead for guidance. He doesn't have a tribe. He's on his own. He knows he's missing something. And so I'll send him on some kind of spirit quest. And I'll use, rune quests for that. We'll have some rolls and some interesting things happen with that. But the question is, do you choose your totem, or does your totem choose you? Part of me says it's the totem that chooses you. Now, am I going to do the bear? Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. But that's just something to think about. I had one other thing I wanted to remind myself about. Oh, because I control leveling up so much, maybe this whole, want to do the totem thing? Well, you need to go on the spirit quest to get that thing. The warlock, now consulting with me, changed his boons. He had picked up, I don't remember when he swapped out, but he swapped one out to get the bonus to his Eldritch Blast. So he gets that as personal bonus. So when the first time he fired his Eldritch Blast after he leveled up, he said, so much damage plus my charisma modifier. I go, what? What modifier? Well, I've got this thing. Well, oh, no. You need to ask for that kind of stuff. If you want to change something, you need to ask your patron if he's willing to do that. But since we'd already rolled through, I let it go. So something I need to discuss more with my players. How I control the game. We discussed earlier about the whole paladin and cleric stuff. Yeah, you've got the full choice of stuff generally. But when you make a choice, you are learning how to conduct a miracle. Essentially, that's what it is. And so that's the miracle you know. Now, when you level up, you can learn another miracle. But what you start out with is what you keep. But well, that was our adventure for last night. If you got any comments, let me know. Thanks for watching. Hey, I even got 2 people subscribed. That's fantastic. I didn't think that would happen. Y'all have a good one.